Thanks again. Back with analytical check.
Oh, well, people need to be awake and they need to people need to be awake and they need to.
So, in the last video, we were talking about channels that I recommend and just giving a quick blurb on them, and we left off, the last one was Hunter Evelyn. So now we're going to pick up with John Birch Society. So it's actually a group that you can join nationwide with local chapters, but they have a YouTube channel. And they cover a lot of good stuff, reactionary to the news. They're very anti-communist, and they go into kind of deep learning more so than your typical 20-something kid who just reacts to the news might go. Their organization has been around a long time. Like, people tell me all the time in person, like, they're still around. In fact, I was at a local chapter meeting for Act for America, and they were like, oh, I just found out about a magazine. Actually, it's going to be right down here. New American magazine. And I was like, yeah, that's actually John Birch Society's magazine. And they were like, John Birch. I was the youngest person at the meeting. Everyone was like 60 and older. And they were like, John Birch Society? They're still around? Because they're very old. John Doyle is, gosh, he looks so young. He looks like a high school kid. I think he's a little bit older. He's never really said, but anyway. But his channel is incredible. So he also has really good deep information. I'm not sure if maybe he goes down rabbit holes like me. A lot of my information, I don't really research for my videos. I research out of interest. And then I kind of go, hey, I've found a lot of information about this. So then I'll make a video about things that I've already found a lot of information about. So when people are like, oh, cover this, cover that, and it's like, but I don't do it that way. That's the reverse order. Like, I don't usually intentionally research for my videos. I just research something because I'm interested in it, and then just decide to make a video because I've already uncovered so much information. So anyway, John Doyle, heck off commie. He's done some pro-life videos. He went to the pro-life event in Philadelphia, if you knew about that. He was one of the people who was there. So he doesn't go to too many events. Most of it is just his him at his desk talking about various stuff. So basically hot topics in the news, but it's not like news driven. It's the kind of stuff where you could probably watch his videos after they've died off from the news cycle. John Stossel is not a conservative, he's a libertarian, but he does videos that are like anti-government, anti-corporation. Like, he talks about how much they waste money or cheat the customers in the case of corporations. So he used to have a segment when I was little. I think not that little, but like in the 90s, I think it was, and it was called Gimme a Break, and it was a segment within 2020. So that used to be my thing. Is Friday nights I would settle in and I would watch the TV shows that were on Friday night, and then I would watch 2020, and then after 2020 I maybe would watch the local news and go to bed. But anyway, I loved his segment 2020. All right. Next up is John Miller. I think John Miller might be my favorite YouTube channel. So he is very good. He's on the Blaze TV network. We won't hold that against him, but he's very funny. He does curse, like, not excessively. Like in the last video I covered Chypre Dior. If you don't like watching people curse, you're not gonna like her videos because she curses like a lot. John curses here and there. Like, he'll be like, get off your A word, you know. He doesn't curse too much. I think unless somebody's like really, really like, I don't want to listen to any single cursing, but or if you're trying to watch a video around your kids. Although I don't think we should be watching political videos around little kids. But then again, the left would in our alienate them to the left. So maybe it would be a good thing to watch political videos around your kid. But anyway, Judicial Watch is awesome. What they do is they sue various departments of the government. Well, first they put in FOIA requests. FOIA is Freedom of Information Act. They put in FOIA requests, and a lot of times these stinking government agencies just ignore the requests, so they sue. I think he said before they'll have like 20, 30 lawsuits going on at one time against various government agencies. And like they're the ones that they sued that California now has to clean up their voter rolls. So they do stuff like that. They are really for us, sticking up for the little guy. And then they put out information on their own YouTube channel, and they tend to get on OANN. So they're going to come up later, but you should also subscribe to OANN. They probably get on Fox. I really watch OANN more than Fox because I don't consider Fox really that conservative, especially, they're just, I guess the Sons took over or something. Justin Trouble, what he does is he covers Antifa. He doesn't go out to Antifa marches, but what happens is all these people go out and they film the stuff and they put it on Facebook and YouTube channels, and they put up live streams or just, and sometimes Antifa themselves put this stuff up and on Twitter, and he collects literally everything he can find and finds out what happened at any point. And so he'll show different angles and he'll explain it to you. So if you want to follow anything from Antifa, I'm sure I found him over all the Yvette Filarca stuff. He covers a lot of the West Coast stuff as a result, but I've also seen him cover stuff that there was some sort of blow up a month or two ago that happened at one of the universities in Texas. Let's see, we are at breaking point between letters. Let's see, 7.5 minutes. Let's keep going. All right, Larry Sharpe is a libertarian who ran for governor in New York State. I campaigned for him, and he did not win, but he still occasionally puts content out on his channel, and he talks about things. He had really great ideas for the state. It's a shame that he didn't at least do better so that he would be asked more questions. But he got on while he was campaigning, he got on to Joe Rogan, he got on to the Rubin Report, and probably other places. When I was out campaigning, one person I met had seen him on the Rubin Report when he was at some like global citizen concert. Yeah, I know, we don't really like that crap, but anyway, he spoke at one of those very briefly, and he was like, who saw me on Joe Rogan? And a few people were like, me. Actually, a lot of people, surprisingly. So yeah. Laura Loomer, she loomers people. She's a little cringy, but on the other hand, it's really good what she does. She gets in the face of like leftist politicians and maybe leftist journalists. I'm not 100% sure, but she'll get in their face and she'll ask them tough questions. Yeah, actually, I think she did go after Jim Acosta and try to get him to answer some questions, or maybe some other people from CNN. I know she went after Rashida Tlaib, whatever the hell her name is. You know the one I mean. The one that said F Trump. From the Hamas caucus. Oh yeah, that's actually Laura Loomer came up with that expression, the Hamas caucus, which is Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib and AOC. They consider her on the Hamas caucus, which, considering that comment she made about Palestinians not having access, not having access to their homes and their housing, yeah, I would say she's on the Hamas caucus. Laurel is an immigration lawyer, and she's popular with the Matt Christensen and blonde crowd. I put her channel here because her channel can be hard to find from just her name because there's a few different Laurels, and in fact when you search for it you get all these videos about Yanni or Laurel. And then even if you filter it for channel, there's a bunch of different channels. So I told her she needs to get a better name. I think she changed her name. She was originally The Truth About Immigration, and then she changed her name. So I think she's not allowed to change her name again for 6 months or something. So, and she also has this thing, Agitator Coffee and Books, and you can visit her shop. So she does a lot of varied topics. She also does some really like deeply researched videos. Like she did a video about something called, what was that video? Oh, Operation Choke Point. And that is basically the idea that the banks are debanking people they don't like. And that's actually, according to her video, it's actually like tied to the government. The government itself is actually doing that to our people. So, yeah. And meanwhile, us idiot conservatives are over here going, yes, let's get the government to help us and regulate this. It's like, who do you think is doing it to us? But, yeah, and she also did a really good video called, What the Hell, Gillette? After Gillette made that commercial. The title alone of that video, like, that was the best title of any video, one of the best titles of a video, especially the best title of a video around the time of the whole Gillette nonsense. Live Action is a pro-life channel, and they also have a website. I recently featured them. They were the ones that Pinterest blocked their actual website. So they have videos showing like animated how abortions are done, like where you take the sofa clamp and they stick it up the woman's hoo-ha and they rip the baby apart limb from limb, and those are also Dr. Anthony Levatino is the doctor that advised them on the practices, and he is a now pro-life doctor who used to be an abortion doctor. So I think it's 1,200 abortions he performed. Don't quote me on it. I'm doing this off the top of my head. So, all right, let's pick up with the rest of this, or not all the rest of this, but let's pick up in the next video with starting with M's.
People need to be awake and they need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against the stuff. People need to be awake. People need to be awake and they need to be aware. They need to stand up against the stuff.
And it's so politically engaged. And it's so politically engaged.